Hey guys, what's going on? It's Nick Campanella from Tailored Timepieces here, and on today's video we're going to be talking about something really interesting. Got my buddy Mike over at Palazzo Di Luxury, and we're just doing some intake today on a Friday, and we figured we would discuss with you guys, what to look for when you are, inspecting your watches when you first get them in, whether it be from a dealer, whether it be from eBay, and just walk you through that process, and hopefully you guys will learn something. Thanks so much for giving us a watch, and if you like the video, please subscribe at the end. So Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the business, where you guys are located, and kind of what your setup looks like today.
Well, we're in Jersey, New Jersey.
Nice.
Started about a year ago. I was in real estate. Then I had guy wanted a watch, got him a watch, and then ever since then I was like, oh wow, I had more appreciation of watches, and then you just grew fond of them. So I was like, let's bring it to other people.
Would you say that you had some interest in some watches prior to you getting involved in working with clients, or was it more so of an
To be honest, no.
Yeah.
No, but then once you get, like for example, like a GMT Rolex in your hand once, it's like, I need this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I kind of felt the same way. My first Submariner, you get in, you're like, oh my God, it's now I'm almost 5 years into doing this, and you get one or two of those a week. It kind of becomes irregular. So I think that's the one thing that I would say I think is lost on me when these watches come in is people think it's the coolest thing ever, and it still is, and I still enjoy it. But once you get these pieces that come in every week, every day, I think it starts to kind of lose that joy and that love.
That spark.
So, that spark. Yeah, I mean that's a great way to put it. But you know what? We're here, and it's funny that Mike and I met. He's in Jersey City, and that's my home turf. It's where I live, my personal residence, and we opened up the store in Brooklyn. So it's great to have connected with him, and he's been a great asset and a great friend since we've met. Let's get a little bit into what we're looking at today, and kind of what we got in, and how we go about inspecting them. So I think right now you have a
we got GMTs.
Yes.
Black bezel right here. This is a 116710 black bezel. Then this is 116710 BLNR, the Batman. Right here, we got these in, and normally what we do, we just inspect, see if the crystal's messed up. Is the bezel, how's the bracelets looking? Is it running well on the time grapher? All the links. Does it come with box? Does it come with papers?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely one thing to really think about when you are buying these watches, and when they come in. I know that a lot of people, they care a lot about price when they see these eBay listings, they see these Corner 24 listings, and they come to me and they say, hey Nick, this Batman or this GMT is listed for maybe $500, in some cases $750, $1,000, whatever it is, higher than these other listings. You're listed a little bit higher, and my thought process is you got to think about what you're getting, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Is they go to the Diamond District on 47th Street, or they go to Canal Street, or maybe they're buying online from someone that doesn't have the knowledge base that you and I have, and they get the piece in, and it's missing links, or it's it needs a new crystal, it needs a service. So why don't we talk a little bit about the importance of checking these things and doing that intake prior to making that purchase.
Yeah, so at least when we sell our watches, sometimes we're the highest price, sometimes we're in the middle, but so the price is, we put the price out because every watch that we come in is ran through by our watchmakers. It's completely checked. It's 100% guaranteed authentic. So our process of doing all that, that's what you're getting as a final product. Quality product that you can trust.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
I mean, that's worth its weight in gold, no pun intended.
Yeah.
To get these pieces in, and I mean, we have pieces all the time, and that's one of the reasons why we request, if we do a trade-in, to have these pieces shipped to us first for inspection prior to that, because it's not always about trying to pull one over on somebody else. Some of the clients that we work with, they'll send something in and they say, hey, it's good, or hey, everything, to my knowledge, everything is authentic, and you get it in, and it's got an aftermarket crystal, or it's missing a couple links. And I don't. Of course, you can never really fault the client for that, because they're not knowledgeable. Yeah, but I think that's kind of where we step in. And I've been in business for about 5 years. You've been in business for a little bit over a year. What are the common red flags you see? When you get stuff in that's traded, that you feel like you would love it if your clients knew a little bit more. About these things to look in before they even approached you and said, hey, Mike, I got a piece that I want to take in, and I want you to sell on my behalf, or I want you to buy from me.
So I guess it would be just saying, if like the authenticity, like we're not going to count that one. That's obviously an issue.
It's gotta
but
be
it would be like the condition, like if there's like a ding. So a ding would be like if there's like a hole in the case, where in order to fix it, we would need to laser it, weld it, in which that takes time, and obviously that's an extra expense. So, that's just also the time of us having the watch, and it's just really not worth it in a sense of getting the best dollar for it, because at the end of the day, we're here to make, money. In order to give our clients deals, we have to keep it being in business.
Yeah, if you want that premium price, you need that premium product.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people, when we get trade-ins, they give us a call and they say, my watch is great, it runs great, it looks great, and you get it in, and unfortunately, sometimes that's not always the case.
Yeah.
And you were telling me a little bit before about how you guys do warranty. When you're working with your clients, I know that's something that you mentioned when you were working with, or speaking earlier today, even with one of your clients. So tell us a little bit about like what you guys do. For us, we warranty everything for a full year, and it's just the way that we like to stand behind our product. You guys do things a little differently. So if you could just mention that to the viewers here.
Yes. So what we do, first-time clients, first-time purchasers, if you get a watch from us, obviously first deal, we have a lifetime warranty. So say if we give you a watch, and then in 5 years it's due for a service, you send it back to us, and we service it free. Then after that, it could be then 10 years for a second service. You send it back, whatever. But every watch comes with 1 year service guarantee. But I mean, that's just legalese. But you just give us a call, we'll take care of it. Your clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean that's something that a lot of these guys, don't offer, and I think that's what distinguishes, honest, well-to-do dealers like yourself and myself from the rest of the guys out there that maybe they just want to move product just to move product.
Yeah, it's all about the dollars to them rather than the relationship. Like making money is a byproduct of the relationship, networking, and the
Now,
hanging out with people.
We work a lot on eBay and Chrono personally with Tailored Timepieces. I know that you guys have a pretty robust private network as well. What would you recommend, or what advice would you give to that buyer who has that 14 days on Chrono, or on eBay that 30 days? What would you say? Okay, you've had the watch for the first 30 days. Here's some things to look out for, to inspect in that first week, in that first 14 days. To make sure you got a quality product, and how to handle those issues.
Now, I would suggest that obviously every watch you get in, you bring it to someone that you trust. Everyone, because like say, even if I get a watch from a dealer, we always have a process. Every watch that comes in gets inspected, no matter if it's from freaking I don't know, best watch dealer in the world. We get it inspected. But for an average person, I would even skip that whole process and buy from trust the seller, not buy the seller. Don't buy the
I mean, it's one of those things that a lot of these guys too. They have hundreds of watches that come, in and out every month, every year. So it's not even, like I said, it's 9 times out of 10, it's not, hey, we have bad intentions. Sometimes it could be, hey, this guy on 47th Street, he's got so many watches, he doesn't have the time to go and inspect and make sure that everything is up to snuff.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Of course.
So, I think in those 30 days, I think that's one of the things to do.
9 times out of 10, well, I mean, at least with me and you, it would be 10 out of 10. The dealer always pays it forward. Like if you have some issue, they're going to take care of it because that's how it should go.
And I think that's something that the red flag that is worth noting too. If you ever buy something from somebody and they say, "Hey, listen, no returns," I don't like that phrase, "no returns," because at the end of the day, if you're saying no returns up front, that in my mind as a buyer of products tells me that person knows that there might be something wrong with that item, might be something wrong with that product. So I mean, in that first 30 days, I always tell those people, hey, listen, please, I encourage you to go to a watchmaker. I encourage you to open it up if you feel like you need to open it up. Take a video of the watch, opening it up. And one of the things that we did actually recently was put, little pamphlets in these items, because we work with people, of course, of all ages and, all walks of life. And, I would get a lot of older or younger people, maybe people that have just gotten their watch for the first time. They don't understand.
Oh, I see.
They don't understand how to work the watch. They don't understand, they get something in there, say, hey, the date wheel's broken. Hey, is this watch doesn't need a replacement battery because it's not running. They're not a watch person. So one of the best things we did, as of recently, is all of our clients gets a nice little pamphlet that says, hey, listen, this is how many times you wind the watch. This is what you can do to care for the watch. And I find it to be super helpful. And one of the things that I like that you do is you get on video with these clients and you discuss it with them. Hey, listen, this is the condition of the watch. That way, there's no surprises, and you just deal with it super promptly.
So the day you're spending your hard-earned money. You want to make sure that you're happy and content, and also feels good wearing it. Absolutely.
So I know you're kind of fiddling with a watch now. What are you doing when you're opening up these pieces? What are you looking for as far as like condition? How do you what's your process like when you first get these pieces in?
Well, process, I mean, I know very little, so I leave it to the professionals. The process of like opening and movement, I give it to a professional watchmaker. He tells me what's going on. But so I'm more of a surface, you'd say. So
you deal more with the sales and.
No, surface meaning like aesthetic, the outside aesthetically. Like if it's it might need a polish, it's crystals banged up, something that every person can do. But when it comes to official, that's why we got a pro. Leave it to the pros, right?
Absolutely.
That's how they make the big bucks.
Yep. I mean, what would you recommend? I know there are different tools that we use to inspect these watches. What would you recommend that a layman have lying around, or what do you think they should purchase to make sure that they can better understand the functionality and the issues with the watch? I know for me, I always tell people, have a time grapher. It's $100. If you're a big watch collector, you have a pretty sizable collection, always try to have a time grapher. And that's something we can link some stuff, down in the description. But we talked earlier about Cape Cod cloths and things like that. Watch bright and things of that nature. What do you have, or what do you recommend end users have in their repertoire to
maintain?
Yeah, to maintain these pieces.
Microcloth, essential. I'm also really nitpicky, so the safest thing, like say if there's dirt or whatever on your watch, toothpicks, it won't scratch the metal. So I mean, you could do this all day. So I like that. And then there's also, at the end of the day, little mild soap, clean water, so not from the faucet, from like a water bottle. You put it in this is also not the watch head, this is just the bracelet. So you take the bracelet off. So with just the bracelet, you put it in a Tupperware, little mild soap, bottle of water, shake it up, and that'll be to clean it. But every time you take off your watch at the end of the day, just give it a little rub down. So you could get like a big cloth, boom, just rub it down. Nice, to really maintain, so not all the gook and everything gets in between the links. And like you spend a lot of money on it, so you want to treat it nice.
It's an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure.
Yeah.
And so often I see people that say, I mean, we even had it last week where, gentlemen, we sold a beautiful Yachtmaster to a gentleman for his wedding. Great guy. It was a great transaction. He then took that piece with him, in the sauna. And
Oh, jeez.
yeah, I mean, he just, understandably, and these people don't understand, the one distinction you made is, hey, when you're cleaning the watch, make sure it's clean water, make sure it's not from the faucet, because a lot of people will get these pieces in, and, I've had people say, hey, I put the watch in the freezer to see how water resistant it is, or see if it's really pressure tested. As Mike said, leave it to the professionals. We have a very strong array of knowledge, learning this stuff, but I'm not a watchmaker by trade. Mike's not a watchmaker by trade. We're very intelligent guys. We have a very strong, background in the watch process, and we can definitely discuss with you, as he said, the surface level of, watchmaking and things like that. But always leave stuff to the professionals. Try not to do a do-it-yourself thing where you're checking something, or you don't know how to do something to the best of your ability. And I think you'll be in good shape. So, as we end this video and in this conversation, as we're doing this intake, I would ask Mike, Mike, what are the pieces that you have that you're trying to offload right now, you're trying to sell right now? What's in your watch box that you're excited to move, and what do you have, in the coming weeks that you're excited to work on with Palazzo Di Luxury?
So, I mean, we have, like I said, that GMT 2016. We have that. A lot of GMTs.
Yeah.
All right. We also have the new Bruce Wayne 2025 on more condition. Beautiful gray and black bezel. APs, Breitlings. I mean, we have it all. And then if we don't have it, we can get it within 24 to 48 hours. So, I mean, me and Nick are always in contact. So we have a lot of sources.
Yeah, between the two of us, I think that we have a lot going on. So, as always, I appreciate you guys giving this a listen. And keep in mind, the number one thing that you need to keep, in your head when you're talking about watches is to hit that subscribe button, because not doing so is going to be damaging to your collection. So, as always, I appreciate you guys giving us a watch, and we'll catch you on the next one.